would do a video supply list because I can, and I wanted to be able to show you the exact products that I use. I've noticed that a lot of people have accessed my site for what I've written about paper and what I've written about pens and markers, so I thought I'd take my 2 years of experience playing with a ton of materials called The End of My College Years and kind of give you a very pared down, simple list of products that I've found very useful and use in almost every art journal entry I do. First, you need Gesso. This stuff is amazing. A lot of books show people using the golden Gesso. I don't. This is at Hobby Lobby. It's $5 and I buy it twice a year. Secondly, you need, and actually my laptop's on top of it, acrylic paints. I use the Apple Barrel stuff that's 44 cents at Walmart. I started out using liquid acrylics. I love liquid acrylics. They act like watercolors, and if you A, have the money to get them, and B, like the consistency of watercolors, I recommend them. I still have a couple of paints that I use in liquid acrylics. They can be very transparent based on color, but pretty much Apple Barrel, 44 cents color, don't have to mix as much, a lot cheaper, won't break your wallet. Next, you need, see now I'm leaning forward, either watercolor crayons or water-soluble oil pastel. The Portfolio brand is the only ones that are, and you can find them at Blick. I found that Staples carries them in the art supply section, at least my Staples does. They're the only brand that are water-soluble oil pastels. Why I specify crayons or pastels and not watercolor pencils is because the consistency when you're coloring and blending is completely different than when you use watercolor pencils, I've found. I love the way that these two blend on top of Gesso or paint or paper or whatever. They are so easy to use. There are so many cool effects you can do with them, but they have to be the water-soluble stuff and not the pencils. Gel pens. I use these. They are the 207s that are used against check fraud. And the reason I use these is because the ink is formulated to actually go into the fiber of the paper. So if you do a wash over your writing or any kind of media over your writing, they do not fade or wash away or kind of, you know, blend out on the, bleed on the paper. I was thinking, okay. They don't bleed it on the paper when you go over them. So they come in a bunch of different colors. I got the packs. I have purple and light blue and probably other colors in my drawer here. Here's orange. They write very smooth. Let's see, this is a black, well no that's not, yeah it is. Black one. The next thing, I'm trying to make this not a long video, is a whiteout pen. I used to use the Sharpie poster paints. And then I read Journal Revolution and they said they use a whiteout pen and I was like, duh. This writes on anything. I never have any problem with it. Dries really fast. Gives it a little like embossed texture. And this one was on clearance at Hobby Lobby. Okay. You need a black, bold, and Faber-Castell artist pen. The bold Faber-Castell Pitt artist pen is the only marker or pen I have found that will write over anything. Ink. What's nice about these is you can open them up and actually write with the tip. And this is like $3 a jar. And if you also need gel medium. This stuff is $12 a thing. I understand that. Suck it up and buy it. Nothing compares to it. I have tried the Liquitex brand, which I have in here somewhere. I can't find it. But gel medium, there is nothing comparable to it. It is just as versatile as Gesso is. I use the regular gel and I use semi-gloss. I did not like the matte finish, so the matte finish and glossy sticks. So, semi-gloss, great compromise there. My glasses keep falling down my nose. Masking tape. It gives you that really cool look. That's all I can really say about masking tape. Next, you need a set of colored pencils. I use Let me take some of these out. Derwent Color Soft, because they are the softest pencils. There, you can see the name, you can see the tips. These are the softest colored pencils you can ever find. I did use that Memory Makers. They have colored pencils that are something like, they look like these. And they're really cheap. That's upside down. They're really cheap. They're also really, really crappy and totally not worth your money. I've used the Color Soft, and I've used a regular old pack of Crayola colored pencils. They work fine. Alright, Sharpies. Sharpies are your friend. Go buy some Sharpies out of the package at wherever you shop. I have my black Sharpie here, and of course I have my other black Sharpie. That's the other point. I like the one that's 2-in-1, but then I killed it and it's more expensive, so whatever. Mechanical pencil, definitely need one of those. I use the ones that look like real pencils that teachers use. It's kind of fun. Double-sided tape, it's worth it. And my little pair of scissors. Brushes, what kind of brushes should you use? I used to have huge sets of brushes. Now I primarily use 2. I have a number 6 and I have a 1/2 inch. I don't like, get this color bristle. See how it's kind of brownish? Well, this one doesn't look brown because it's got green paint on it. I don't like the black ones. I don't like the natural fiber. I don't know what kind these are. Filibust, oval, I don't know. I got these for $3 each at Joann Fabrics. I just use these two. If I have to do detail work, I get a 0. And that's it. 3 brushes, some gesso, some ink, some paints, and you can do anything. You do not need fancy supplies to keep an art journal. You do not need the coolest stuff to do an art journal. Some of my best entries, or what I consider my favorite entries, were done with very, very simple materials. And by using simple materials, you kind of have to really think outside the box to get an effect. So kind of try to keep things simple, try to use just a small amount of stuff, because if you have everything, like I had a studio full of supplies, there was just so much I could do and so much to use that I just would get overwhelmed. Oh, I forgot. There's another thing that you need. A set of alphabet stamps. That just A through Z and a black ink pad. That's it. Those are all the supplies I basically use in my journal. And I hope this has been somewhat helpful for you if you don't know what supplies to use or what brands to really use. Those are the brands that I use and the stuff that I've used, and I've found it pretty successful. If you have any specific questions, if there's something that I didn't mention that you would like to use and maybe don't know where to get it or what kind of brand you should use, comment on the video or send me an email, and I will be more than happy to cover it either on my blog or just send you an email. It depends on if it's something that I think a lot of people would be asking about. So, in lieu of that, that is my supply list for you.